It's Bobbbaaaay, and we back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay.
Bobbbaaaay.
Bobbbaaaay. Nikki Howard in the building.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
I don't know who to look at. It's my first podcast.
First podcast ever. I'm pretty pumped.
As am I.
Are you nervous at all, or did you prepare for this?
I feel comfortable. I did a little bit of light breathing before in the car.
It's very important
in
with
the
life.
Ford Focus. I thought in, out, you'll be okay.
Okay.
And now I feel good.
Now you feel good.
Yeah.
And you like to talk.
You
talk a lot, or
I talk almost every day.
I think it's important in how to communicate with people.
I do.
Do you like talking to Instagram? Do you let people know, like, yo, this is what I'm doing every day? Because I'm a big IG fan of posting my stories.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that more. I don't care mostly about other people. Like, this sounds... people that I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on with Rihanna right now, or like any of the Kardashians.
I'm just going to do what I need to do.
So, but it's like, for me, it's hard for me to be like, well, why would people care?
Yeah.
Like, I have to explain to my 71-year-old mom, who's like...
I've seen her in some of your videos. She seems
born
she's hip,
in
she's with it.
1947. She just like couldn't possibly fathom why people. She's like, why do they care? I'm like, Mom, I don't know.
Yeah.
But people want to know.
So it passed on to you.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to see what my friends are doing, but like, you know, if Rihanna's eating an apple, I don't really give a shit. Sick. Dope. Sorry.
Who is Nikki Howard today, and how young is she?
She is 26 years young. God.
That's a great number.
Yeah.
You don't sound like too enthusiastic about it though.
I know, it's this place just really makes you feel old when you're not.
Come on, don't even start. You're in your 20s. Let's go.
I know, I'm trying. And who am I today? You know, I'm just a girl trying to make people laugh. You know, that's it. That's
what you want to do.
I think that's my purpose. I'm very positive that whatever capacity I'm supposed to do, I'm just supposed to like.
You want to see people like smile. You want to make them happy.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I'm not really sure how I'm going to make that happen on a large scale, but you know.
I could tell from within, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 seconds of meeting you, your energy's like, woo! Like,
thank you.
You know, a lot, it's kind of, I mean, I get it. Everyone's different, right? But when I meet people that are just like so mellow and you have to like warm them up so much, it's like, come on, like, you know, it's like, let's get to it. Like, we don't need to act like we're not people. We're humans. You know what I mean?
We're all humans.
You grew up in New York?
I was born in New York, and then I grew up in South Florida. Okay,
now when you say you grew up, like, when did you make the move? How old were you?
I was like probably 3 or 4.
Oh, so for South Florida then is definitely where you grew up.
Definitely.
How, like, what part of Florida was this?
Boca Raton.
Boca Raton.
Been
through there once.
Yeah, if you're familiar,
nice.
a lot of Jews.
They
moved from Long Island, and then they moved to New York, or to Boca Raton.
Oh, okay,
and they retire there. So that's what happened.
Describe to me what it's like to grow up out there, because Florida is much different than LA, much different than Massachusetts.
Well, where I grew up, it's pretty similar to LA. It's just like a lot of plastic surgery, and people want, you know, they have like the parents are absent, so they buy their kids like nice cars and shit, and then the kids like grow up and do drugs because they think that they're I wasn't one of those kids.
No, you were one of the good ones.
I had a Hyundai Tiburon, which I thought was pretty dope. It had a tape player, so I was balling.
That's dope.
Yeah, but you know, no Porsche.
No Porsche. Which is good because it teaches you to be hungry.
Yeah,
like you want success. If I was given a Porsche as my first car, big trouble, because I wouldn't want to work for anything.
I think that when I was very aware of like the absurdity. My mom was like, "That's so absurd."
Yeah.
I was like, I agree. I have no business.
Yeah.
Having a Porsche.
Yeah.
I just
get me from A to B.
I broke the door handle off of my Hyundai Tiburon, up from the inside because I'm super strong.
That's good.
So it was kind of like a rape mobile.
That's why you got the Equinox deal. Makes sense.
Yeah. It rains a lot in South Florida, so I'd have to like put the window down and then like from the outside get out, and then it happened. It was a 2-door, so. It happened to the other side, so it was just like a rape mobile.
A rape mobile.
It had no door. It was like you had to replace the entire door just to get the hand. My mom's like, I'm not doing that.
That's ridiculous.
Figure it out.
Yeah. So you said, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna roll down the window and open the door.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then my mom sold it to a father for his teenage daughter, and I thought, interesting choice.
They got passed along.
Yeah, it got passed.
Now here's
your shitty car.
Go drive
Go
it.
be a good person and work for what you want, so you don't have to drive this around.
Yeah. Is it true you're a mix of Russian, Polish, and Turkish?
I am. Yeah.
That's a hell of a mix.
It is. Yeah. People think that I'm Hispanic. I'm not. I'm just.
How has having all that mixture in you like influenced you to who you are today?
This is going to be such an anticlimactic answer. So I had to like hunt for that answer from my mom. I was like, what am I? She's like, what do you mean? So this is verbatim conversation, pretty much. It's like, well, what's my ethnicity? You're white, you're Jewish. Like, what? I was like, well, what is my, she's like, well, I'm Polish and Russian and your father was Turkish. And I was like, okay, so when did that? She's like, you're third generation. So my mom's dad was born in Brooklyn. Okay. And then his dad was born, I think, in Russia or Poland or something. But he came off Ellis Island, Brooklyn, had my mom in Brooklyn. 3 generations on my dad's side, too. Brooklyn Jews for 3 generations. Wow. So it's like I have none of the culture.
So you had to literally go figure that out for yourself.
Yeah, I have more of like the Jewish culture. Like my mom grew up with her grandma speaking Yiddish, and it was very like, I don't speak Yiddish anymore. Stop trying to bring it back.
That's too bad.
Yeah, so it's really like no one speaks another language besides a little bit of Yiddish. It's very like we're just white. I know. That's it.
Who did you have any brothers and sisters?
I have a brother.
Okay. Older or younger?
Older. He's 30.
Okay.
He lives in Philadelphia.
Shout out to Philly. Great Philly steak and cheese.
Shout out to Philly. Great
cheese
sandwiches.
Steaks. If I say steak and cheese, they get pissed.
Steak and cheese.
It's cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
Cheesesteaks.
I've never heard anyone say steak and cheese.
I think it's East Coast thing.
It's steak and cheese?
Steak and cheese.
Interesting. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Who influenced you growing up, you think?
Who influenced me? My mom, definitely. Single mom.
So, your mom?
Yeah, my mom.
Your mom.
My mom.
Okay, I thought I heard my mom.
I'm a single mom. That's what you thought I said? Oh no, I'm not a single mom.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh
my God, no.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, no offense.
Can't make any assumptions.
No,
out here,
that's
true.
I mean? No, my mom was a single mom, so I was with her a lot. Okay. She influenced me a lot. But I don't know. I mean, I think
you sound like you guys must have been close growing up.
Yeah, we are. We still are to this day. She's my best friend. She's the best.
She's the best.
Yeah. But my brother, he has a very obscure sense of humor and super smart. My mom was very much like, she's an older parent. She had me when she was in her 40s. Okay. She's lived. Yeah. But so she didn't really, she was maternal, but in more of like I'm just going to talk to you how I talk to everybody else.
She's not going to put up that.
And she wasn't informed on like the current like baby culture. So South Park for me, I grew up watching that from a very young age. My mom was like, it's a cartoon. Crank Yankers, all of that shit. Beavis and Butthead. And then, my mom.
So there was no filter then?
No, my mom was very much like into read whatever you want if you want to read. So there's a picture of my brother and me on a road trip, and he's reading Howard Stern. What's the book? They made a movie out of it. Okay. But it's like a big Howard Stern book. And we're like 6, just reading, just no big absorbing. Deal. The first book I ever remember reading was Chris Rock. He wrote a book, and it was just like the same as his special. But I just remember being like, this guy is it. So like all of anything and everything that I probably shouldn't have been absorbing.
You did. I feel like it can go one of two ways. It could really like hurt a kid growing up because they start getting exposed too early to things that they shouldn't be consuming. But then on the other hand,
my brother got that.
He got that one?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. My brother got to do it. He did some sort of like, the school was like, you can do a project on anything. Okay. Anything you want. My brother was like, great. Yeah. So he did this like incredible art piece of like he like drew them all of the presidents throughout the ages, and then correlated that with the serial killers they were most like. So it was like Nixon as Manson.
What are you doing?
It was just like, what is happening? They were like, you can't do that. And he was like, you said anything. Like that was I'm
gonna do it.
Yeah, my brother was like outsmarting the teachers. So I was like, okay, so that's where we're gonna draw the line. Wow. I just won't do that. So
How would you describe the Nikki in high school?
I'm
real curious to hear this answer.
Well, okay, so I've pretty much looked the same way since high school. So people thought I was like a substitute teacher in high school. I was just
the exact same way.
Just like haven't really changed.
Okay.
But I was just like class clown. I was friends with all of the administration, like everybody. I would leave my shoes in my at home because
you didn't even need them.
But I'd like walk in and be like, forgot my shoes again. The dean was like, Nikki.
It's Nikki. Let her in.
I was like, Mr. Solid. He's like, you gotta go get your shoes. I was like, all right. But I just was like, wanted to be class clown and I don't know, trying to figure it out, I guess.
Any sports or anything like that?
I was on dance team.
Dance team.
Middle school was step team. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. I was. My first job was at Starbucks because I just wanted to.
Let's go.
I know. I wanted to get the hell out of there. So
she's promoting today. Starbucks. Get her a brand deal.
So I got this thing where I could leave school early to go to work. So I only had 4 periods my senior year.
Oh, so you get out and go make that paper.
That's what I'm saying.
To fix the door handles that you never fixed.
Exactly.
Ah, that's
you
great.
get it.
That's
You're
great.
On, yeah.
Well, shout out to Starbucks. That's pretty dope. That's a good job. I did a lot of projects in college based on their business model, and they always were like, all right, Starbucks is dope. Starbucks is dope. You went up going to New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts.
I did do that. That's correct.
How was that? Is that a school that you have to like apply to or?
Yeah. So the story behind that is I was like, dope. I'm gonna go to NYU to go to Tisch for acting school, and my mom was like, okay, apply. So I never really. I was like, I'm gonna be an actor. Like,
I'm gonna be a baller.
I'm not wearing shoes to school.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my just to give you a base level of I wasn't getting into NYU. So I kill my audition, and they were like, great. So we're just gonna review your grades. And my mom and I look at each other, and we're like, ooh.
Why, they weren't hot or like?
No, I was barely passing. I was like, I'm gonna be an actor.
Yeah.
Who cares? My mom was like, you're right. So, so I was with my mom in New York, and we're like, well, we're here audition. Like, I wonder if there are any other schools. And we went on a hunt for other schools I could audition for in a panic. And so I just stumbled upon this school, never heard of it. I was like, this seems fine. My mom was like, yeah, just see if you can just
get in.
Just do the same thing.
We just need you to get here.
You just did. Yeah. So I was like, great. So then they saw someone, and I got a scholarship to go there.
Oh, wow.
So it's a 2-year conservatory, less than Tisch was. So that's good.
That's good. Save money.
Saving money, got that scholarship, and yeah, it was great. I learned a lot, and they give you a certificate afterwards, which I never got. By the way, I should pick that up.
That's good.
But yeah,
lost in the mail.
Yeah, but it was fun. I mean, you just roll around on the ground and breathe and cry and meet people from.
I can't
all
even
over.
imagine what acting school is like.
It's so weird.
A lot of emotions.
It's a lot of emotions. A lot of sexually confused people, but it's all of the weird people that were weird in high school all got to be cool in one place, and everyone was like, oh my god,
now they're flourishing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
What was your big takeaway from that 2 years?
Just I don't know what was my takeaway. I made a lot of friends.
Yeah. Do you think it helped you though?
Oh yeah, I definitely think it helped me. I mean, it most of all, it gave me the hustle of living in New York City, an excuse to live in New York City, as a student.
Where in New York City is it? It's right in Manhattan,
right? It's in Chelsea, yeah. So
okay.
I lived on 142nd and Malcolm X on the top floor of a 6th-floor walk-up.
You loved it.
In a 2-bedroom with 4 girls.
Oh my God.
It was not
a lot of estrogen in that room.
Yeah. Yeah. So I shared a bed with my best friend for the entire time we were there. And then I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, I was so depressed. My mom was like, do you want me to get you one of those lights?
Why? Because you didn't have a light?
No, because it's so gray in New York, and I was in Harlem, and I didn't want to leave. It was too cold. They have these lights that I guess give off that vitamin
energy.
D or something.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not an iguana. I shouldn't just not live here, maybe.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, let's move.
That's a huge refresh page because like I said, I've only been to Boca real briefly, and I think about what that transition must have been like for you to get. That's very suburban, right? Very.
Yeah, but my parents got divorced when I was young, so my dad lived in New York, so I used to go back and forth.
Oh, so you had at least gotten a taste of the city.
Yeah, exactly. Which I just was thinking about the other day, that it's very strange because my mom used to just put me on a plane pre 9/11 alone and just be like, to Newark Airport. I don't know if you've ever been to Newark.
I heard it's crazy though.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to send your 6-year-old child there alone. So she'd just be like, yeah, you get on the plane.
You would just figure it out when you got there?
Hopefully you find your dad.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was...
It worked out.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, we would not be here
if that didn't happen.
So I was familiar.
Yeah. So when you were 16, that's when you had your first modeling gig. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What was it about that gig that you might have said, this is like something I want to pursue?
So my mom used to model.
Okay.
This is the backstory behind that. My mom used to model, and I would look through her portfolio and be like, I want to do this. And she's a psychologist now, specializing in anorexia and bulimia because
of the modeling.
So she was very wary. She was like, I don't want you to do this. I was like, Mom, I love food. It's going to be fine. Trust me. It. I'll eat a burger every day. She was like, well, when you can drive yourself to castings, you can go. So I got my license at 16 and I went and I got this job. And I was like, I'm 16, I'm in high school, I'm making money. This seems this seems ideal, right? So, and then I had a plan in my head of like, I knew since kindergarten, I was like, I want to be an actor. That's it. I just
What was it about it? Like, why?
I just wanted to, I had a pretty fucked up childhood, and I was just like, I want to escape my reality and play in somebody else's and not be in my life for a while.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's it. This is for me. I feel so comfortable not being.
It allows you to step out of the world that you're living in.
Exactly. So I was like, my plan was, as a child, I was like, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll just go on castings. I'll get my book together. And then once I have a book, I can start getting paid jobs. And then that's a good segue into like commercial work because I'm not going to get like a big role immediately. Yeah. This was like my thought process, knowing nothing about the industry.
That's pretty good.
I was like, okay, so then trying to be realistic, like then I'll get commercials hopefully. And then, from there, maybe some film and TV work. And, that's 20 years, my 20-year plan.
Yeah.
So then I started modeling, and I kept just getting consistent work, which was weird. And then when I went to school in New York, I got an agent there because I had experience.
So you had the experience already.
I had a book, and they were sending me out, commercially and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's kind of just been like it just kept going and going
without you really, like, you had a plan, but it wasn't necessarily.
It's never been like my passion. I love it because it's just so fun, but it's not. I'm very aware of the time frame that I have to do this. And it's not. I know that there's so much more that I want to do, but this is just a super good segue.
Yeah. I would imagine that, I mean, not to diss anyone that does modeling or yourself, but like, is there a true fulfillment from modeling, I think that if that's what people want to do, then there is, but I think that it's so hard to just base something off of the way that you look. Especially in this town. And now when I started, it was very much like still there was no Instagram. So it was very like you have a girl person in your face saying like you need to lose weight. You're too fat. And so that's, for me, it was just like, okay, like this is my mom told me this would happen. Like I'm not fazed by it because it's not, I mean, it sucks, but it's not, I'm a mannequin for somebody else's clothes. I can't be offended if their clothes do or don't look good on me. I'm just going to do, if I feel good, then it's not going to hurt me. Yeah.
But if I am self-conscious or whatever, then it will. So, it's always been very much like, this isn't my passion, so it didn't hurt me as badly to be like, oh, I'm fat. It's just, and now, thank God for, this whole movement of now they want thick girls.
Yeah.
I was also very self-conscious. I lost 30 pounds, and now I'm looking at people who are models, and they're like 5'2", and they're heavier, and I'm like, well, this fucking, I just lost the weight.
I just lost the weight.
You guys
couldn't take me? You couldn't take me?
Yeah.
One thing I want to go back on, because I don't want to overmiss it, but what, if you don't mind elaborating on it, what was it that was fucked up about your childhood that kind of like set the tone?
Okay, well, here we go. So
don't say anything you don't want to talk about.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
My mom actually wrote a book, and it's all in there. So
wow.
She was like, "Do you want to read this?" And I was like, "Dope."
Didn't care, right? Just kept feeding you the knowledge.
Amazing. So it's my parents got divorced when I was young, and my dad struggled with addiction. My parents met in AA, just to give you, they thought this is a good starting point. Let's have children. 2 addicts. My NA was full, by the way.
It brings some positivity,
no,
right?
I
and
love
then it gets
it.
you out of like,
yeah.
I love it, but go on.
Narcotics Anonymous was full. Okay, so my mom went to an AA meeting.
Okay.
My dad was there. They met, fell in love. My dad was like, I don't want to start a relationship. You're new to the program. Like, my mom's like very persistent. So whatever, they get together. My dad falls off the wagon. My mom stays clean. They have kids. They move to the suburbs. My dad's a city guy. It was tough. My dad started using, and then they got a divorce. My dad moved to New York. My mom started seeing a guy who, a few different guys. When she met a guy, he seemed like this great knight in shining armor. People molest kids. Sometimes it happens. That's what happened in this case. So my brother and myself, it was kind of like,
wow.
Very. So anyway, cut to, he leaves. I tell my mom, my dad kills himself. So it was kind of like a series of unfortunate events in that, I know, see, this is what happens.
Oh, wow.
So then growing up with that was like, I just want to escape this. But constantly trying to take the burden of other people's pain and put it on myself and be like, I'm okay. Like, let's, I can make you laugh. And I think that's obviously where it stems from, of course. Naturally, it was very convenient having a therapist as a mother through all of this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's...
How old were you at the time when this, like, really kind of happened?
Well, my dad died in 2003. So it was probably, like, 2001, 2002 before that, yeah.
Wow, okay. So that's got to, like, really... Whew, that's got to really...
Years of therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But... it's definitely, as awful as it was, it has made me so aware of the fact that everybody has a story. Yeah. And just because I look people, for nobody ever expects anybody to have a story like that, especially when, you're a model or you look this way. And it's just, it's very, it makes you be aware of your interactions with people more and understand and not be so vain or so dismissive of people. I think
it's easy to judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely.
Based on social media, seeing people's followings, seeing like the pictures they're posting, what the people they're with, the cars they're driving, the private jets they're on, and then you start to ask questions and you realize there is a whole that is just a shoot of like what they're doing in a time, in a moment, but what's the story behind that person, which is what I think amazes, because you just hear stories like this, you know what I mean? It's like you don't know until you ask questions. Absolutely. And that's one thing I try to get better at, is not making assumptions based on somebody that gets into my car. I'm like, okay, I have no idea who this person is. I have no idea where they come from. Wow, that's I did not. That's incredible to hear, because you're doing good.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like,
I shower every day.
You shower every day. That's
every
great.
day.
That's
every
great.
day, guys. I know.
Wow.
I try and keep my shit together.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving along. What was I wanted to ask you about? When you were in New York City, you were on the Revolution. You were on the Today Show.
I was.
What
claim to fame?
Yeah. What within those couple years of New York do you think helped you before this move to LA? Like, what was it about New York?
It's just that's the hustle, the energy, the constant people moving. I was walking everywhere, and I was submitting myself on things, and I just knew what I wanted to do, and I was driven, and I was able to navigate the streets there. And I thought, if I can do this here with like no dollars and just this passion and figure it out, then I can do it in LA. And because I knew it was going to be easier for me here, just day to day. Yeah. So then I moved here.
The sun's always up. It's gorgeous.
And I just was like, everyone's sitting on their fucking ass. Nobody's doing anything. Yeah. People have cars and yet they're late. It was just so bizarre to me. I was like, traffic, that's fine. I've been sitting on a subway. Like,
I can deal with this.
Nobody has pissed near me in like 20 minutes. So I can sit in the car and sit in traffic.
New York is a different breed.
It's definitely different. But it gives you that drive of being like, oh, well, I can easily get where I want to go if there aren't like all of these people you know, I don't know.
It's a different pace, but then when you get out here, you realize like, man, people really are just sitting around half the time and they're going to Earth Cafe and sitting in for 3 hours and maybe like going to a meeting or something.
I can't believe it.
It's a different.
Yeah, it's very crazy.
It's interesting to say the least. I kind of want to understand how this all got like. You've done that work with Equinox, as I made the comment before. You did like some videos. You were I saw on your Instagram story like somebody had posted a picture of you that you were literally like on the wall for Equinox or something like that. You ended up working with Sprite, GMC, Old Spice, Lucky Brand, Xbox, Bose, American Express. Like these are nationwide. I mean, these are massive brands. Like how did you make that happen? Like what was it? A certain relationship? Was it a certain project that kind of just like made it happen?
It's kind of just been this weird web. So when I was in New York, I was submitting myself on things. I had photos, luckily, because I have been modeling. So I would just go on casting websites and submit myself and go to auditions. And I booked something for Bose. And so that was great. I was like, oh, this is great. It was a union job. It's not union. This is awesome. And then I got an agent, and then my agent started sending me on stuff. And they sent me on something for the Today Show, and I got that, and that was cool. And then just kind of like, I submit myself like to this day. I go on Backstage and I go on Actors Access, and I'm like, oh, could I do this? Could I do this? Now it helps because I have an agent, and if I don't think I can get it, I'm just like, please send me on this. So I'm just neurotic, and I'm very like, it's hard for me to be in a career field where I have such little control.
I hate that.
So the things that I do have control over, like, you know, like staying in shape and stuff like that, I'm so insane. Like I don't fuck around because if everybody else is doing everything they can and they finally get there and I'm not ready, it's just like, what? What you had one job.
That's all you had to do.
So
the Bose pretty much was like a stepping stone that kind of.
And then after that I moved to LA, and my friend had a manager, and I met with her, and she hooked me up with an agency who needed someone that was my measurements. And so I went and I met with them because I happened to get the job just out of sheer luck. That never happens, by the way. This sounds like, oh my God, this girl's like, that never happens to me. So, but it worked out, and the agency signed me across the board. And then before that I had a commercial agent, and they sent me out on the Old Spice and all of that other stuff.
See, the one thing that I love about the world we live in today, and this is a great example, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I have control over where I go with this, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I love the world we're getting into now. It's really on the producer or the person to create a demand and a following. That I've met people through Uber that they tell me they're an actor, they're a model, they do all this like entertainment stuff, and some of the early questions that people ask when they're going into these auditions, what's your Instagram following? What's your following? Like, so I'm looking at it as like, okay, it's not about, no longer is it about your pure talent. People want to know, what's your pull? Like what, you know what I mean? What, like how many people, and it makes sense from a business standpoint.
Of course it does.
If I have 10 people standing in front of me and I'm shooting a movie and I need one of these newcomers to be a lead, I want to know what you already have to work with. So I think it's I think it's great. It's hard. It's hard to build that following, but I think it's great that it's on us. That if you're willing to work for it, you can get in the door.
I think it's just like when that first started, people being like, "Oh, what's your Instagram following?" I was so angry, and I have a following. I was angry because I felt like if this girl that just went to Juilliard and is better for the role isn't getting it because I have like an Instagram follow for what, they don't care. It could be showing your ass, like it could be anything. But you could put ketchup on French fries, have 2 million followers, and get a role for something that doesn't even apply to that. You know, I just felt like, how is that right? How is that fair? This, like, you know, someone who's so purely talented and better for something couldn't possibly get it made me upset. I don't know. But I think it's great, but I also think there's a line that needs to somewhere be drawn about like, but can you actually do the thing that we need you to do? And are you better qualified? I know I sound like such.
No, but it's true though. Like I would want to see the person that has more skill, but at the end of the day I feel kind of bad knowing that if they don't have. I mean,
I know, but
there's a bunch of talented people in this world.
Absolutely.
It's just not every single one is going to get that shot.
Absolutely.
So the one that's outworking everybody else, that's building a following, whether they're, I don't think, truthfully, straight up, I'm not the best podcaster in the world, but I'm confident enough that I can deliver quality enough that will serve its purpose.
No, I get that. I see what you're saying. I'm saying someone that is equally or better qualified.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should miss an opportunity. Yeah. But I also know that, like, if I was a producer and there were two people right for the same role and one had 2 million followers, I would obviously pick that person because it just makes sense financially.
You wouldn't even care at the end. It's like 2 million. Like,
it's fine. You're hired.
You on the spot, you're hired.
You're hired.
You're hired.
Everybody get out.
Through the skills that you've learned through both modeling and acting, how have they positively helped you in your life? They haven't. No. Come on.
Modeling has made me.
I feel like you got to be like a tough cookie.
I'm. It's just the social media thing when it came around and people, like cyber whatever, like you're this, you're that. I'm like, you have no idea. That doesn't faze me. I've had like grown, powerful people tell me that I'm fat like for my entire life. Like, you're a 12-year-old kid who lives in Idaho. Yeah. Like, I don't care. but I think it's just like, I don't know. It's very superficial, but I think it's made me malleable. Yeah. I'm able to kind of be in any environment and go into like castings or, the same way I do that, just like be open and personable and it's helped me in life, and to deal with different people from different walks of life, adults, younger people. It's just, I don't know. It's helped me socially, I think, a lot.
How about your personality? Has that helped you?
I think it's truly been my saving grace. The majority of my jobs come because I've worked on a set and people enjoy working with me, and I can't believe it. Yeah. I would not be able to do this full time if it weren't for people helping me and being like, I know a girl who is good for this. And I think it goes such a long way. And I truly believe that if you're good at what you do and you're nice to people and you're not a diva for any, like, I'm not sure if people think that they are entitled to feel or they're better than someone because they have a following, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, we're all just people. And that goes back to like the childhood thing. We're all just people. Yeah. Just make people laugh or don't, or just be whatever you have to offer. Just be authentically you in whatever it is you're doing. And people will be receptive and want to work with you.
People want to work with people that make them enjoy their job.
Exactly.
People want to be around people that make them smile, that make them like happy to be working with them. You know what I mean? Like, people, I think, overthink sometimes of like, all I need to do is be that person that walks in the room and says hello to everybody versus the one that stands in the corner and is like, I'm the big one on campus.
Yeah, I think it's our society with Instagram, and now we can see everything. It's people want to have stuff and they want to look a certain way, and it's so ego driven. And I think it's very refreshing for other people who are surrounded by that constantly to know what you have to offer and just bring that to the table with no ego or nothing else, and just be like, I'm fucking here.
This is me.
Yeah, this is it. This is what I got. And it's nice to work with people that are nice. Yeah. It's fuck whatever. Who gives a shit about your car? It's just a car.
I know. Don't get me wrong. If you have the money and you can afford it, please go buy the Lambo. Go buy that. The problem I have is the people that need it / think because they own it, they are the shit. That's where I have the problem.
Well, we're constantly seeking this, like, we have this identity crisis of like, oh, I want to be that guy, so I just have to get this stuff and then I'll be that guy. Well, who are you? Yeah. No one gives a shit. Yeah. It's much more interesting to see who you are than like, you're just that guy with the Ferrari, like every other person in LA. Yeah. Great. This is good. Love this.
I know. And that's kind of been the thing that I've loved about being in LA, is seeing it more, because it's so obvious, and driving around all the time, insane. I see it all day long, and it is literally a reminder of how grateful I am of where I come from and my roots, because I see these people and the way they interact. Yeah. And I personally say to myself, I feel horrible for you. Like, I feel bad that you think because you have this car, you're wearing these Gucci shoes, that you are above me or above anyone else. I feel terrible for you, but that's what I love about LA. Like, you know, aside the true reason why I love LA is the weather and, you know, everything about it. But I've seen the positive side of living around people that are like that because it positively helps me see, all right, I'm good. Like, just continue to be a genuine person, good conversation. Like,
and also, if I see someone like that, I do like try to get to who they are because I want to know the story. I want to know. And I think I've been blessed with a quick sense of humor, and I'm kind of able to, you know, break down the walls and show people that, you know, just because I look a certain way, I'm not afraid to make a fool out of myself and look stupid and ugly or whatever. And I think that helps them feel more comfortable to kind of let that guard down and be like, oh, right.
Yeah. So elaborate on that, because you said it before the podcast, and when we met, you made that comment because of the way I look. Like, what do you mean by that?
Because people, so I've heard multiple people look at me and then they meet me and they're like, I just thought you would be a bitch. And I was like, why? And they were like, well, just because of how you look. And I was like, I get it. I get it. It would be like I've had guy friends of mine be like, my girlfriend does not like that we're friends. And I'm like, I get it. I'd love to meet her and like just show her that like, this is not, not what you think. Like, no. But it's, and there's a reason people think that, and it's because people that look a certain way act a certain way. It just, nobody's expecting that story to come out of my mouth, and that story is why I am
who you are.
And I'm able to be like, no, whatever. It's just,
I think if people took 3 seconds to just like quickly look at like your Instagram, they would see like, this girl's actually somebody who's just having fun. And but I don't know how to say it without, I don't want to politically say it incorrect, but I get why people would, you know, I get what you're saying, like, because of the way I look. I understand completely.
No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God. I'm sorry. If anyone can say it, I can say it. Come on.
But, you know, it's true though. But once again, don't judge a book by its cover. Like, you have to look into people and see like what they're about, and you kind of know. You also said earlier on the podcast, and I want to bring up on your website, it says, Nikki Howard is a Los Angeles-based actress whose passion is making people laugh.
That's true.
How did you can you narrow like a certain point when you realize like that's like a true passion of yours?
Childhood. Yeah. Just through comedy, like reading Chris Rock's book, anything. Okay. I would be like, I feel better. It's an escape from the pain that I'm going through, and I feel good. And I knew that escape, other people needed it. And so if I saw someone having a hard time, I just wanted to be that for that person. And that is a gift. I get it from every comedian, every, you know, funny film, anything, other people that make me, it's such a gift. Yeah. And so
I think entertainment in general is a good way to escape reality,
absolutely.
Right? But something about comedy and laughter, it really like pulls you away.
Yeah. And I've also, I use it as a crutch constantly. Like, God forbid anybody brings up like a dead dad. It's just, I'm off the rails because I don't know how to, you can only deal with it so much, but there's so many things that are so awkward because I've gone through, like, it's just, I have to make a joke about it because I can't sit in the discomfort. It's okay. Yeah. You know, that's my mantra. I'm fine.
I think it's good to laugh the tough things out, right?
Absolutely.
Like, always find something that you can like crack a joke about.
And I wouldn't be as okay with it as I am if I hadn't dealt with it, you know? And I think it's good for people to see someone who's gone through pain and stuff and to say like, but I've gone through it, and like, let's make jokes and let's be, we're together on this, you know? I don't know. I think it's nice. And it's just, I love it.
Yeah. Do you think it'll hold you back or help you? Because this is something you're kind of really trying to step into now, right? Like, you wanna do comedy.
I've always have, but I've kind of just been trying to navigate through my plan, as it were. So like, modeling and then comedy is far. It's hard to make that jump straight away.
Do you think it's gonna help or hurt you, like, having that background of like acting / modeling and then now trying to go into comedy?
I think it's, I think now more than ever, it doesn't matter. You know, there's so many platforms, different people, fucking Netflix specials out the dick. I mean, it's just like it doesn't really matter. And when I go and do a set, it's like I'm not tits out. Yeah. You know what I mean? I thought about it. I was like, if I suck, at least maybe I'll
have
just
this fallback.
Show some cleave. But it's just like it's so not about that, and I think it doesn't. So people are gonna look at my picture and be like, she's hot. It's okay. Yeah. So is Whitney. Yeah. You know, it's like I don't really think about it. Yeah. It's not what I'm selling.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Do you think the connections that you've built might help a little bit, or no? Is just completely so far out?
I mean, I'm so fresh that it's like I can't even think about that.
Yeah, you just gotta worry about like
I'm like
baby
not
steps
ready.
Right
if someone was like, if Netflix called me up and I'm like Netflix, you're greenlit, I'd be like, no, absolutely not.
Didn't you do a stand-up set not too long ago?
I did.
How'd it go?
At Flappers, it went well.
Flappers in LA.
Yeah, I opened with a Me Too joke.
Okay. That really that's gotta set the ball.
What happened was, it was the day that the Louis thing came out, and I had a different set planned, but I heard it, I pulled over, and I was like, it was like my second set. I was like, I have to write something. Yeah. I have to talk about this today. Yeah. And I went up and I did a whole thing on that, like about, what do you do, like if Harvey Weinstein like comes out and just starts, you're just like, you stand there and it's just like, it's a nice rug. Is that West Elm? Dope. Just like, what do you just like kind of trying to think of, I don't know, this whole crazy world that we're living in right now with the Me Too and stuff. But like,
it's crazy.
At the end of the day, like, if like, how do I know if I look good? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to know? Can I walk through a construction site anymore and like gauge my outfit? I don't know.
I think the one that caught me off guard the most was Matt Lauer, Today's Show.
Yikes.
I think that one really caught a lot of people off guard.
I know. Matt Lauer. I've been watching him for years.
What? And not to go all the way back to something we talked about, but you did something on the Today Show? Is that true?
I did, yeah. I was never touched by Matt Lauer. For the record. I didn't even see him.
Okay. What was it like? One of those like segments that in between?
Oh yeah, it was like a fashion thing. They were like, today's guest we have Kathy Lee Hoda. It's Wednesday, and I was like, I'm in a mini skirt.
You love it.
Like, yeah, it's just like,
I mean, like that stuff's got to be fun, right?
It's so absurd. Like, how is this my job? I think that constantly. I'm like, this is so insane. I'm so grateful, but like, this is like, it's just crazy. Yeah. I'm just trying to like, I'm so grateful that I get to do it. Yeah. That this is even a profession that somebody could do. Yeah. Just to do that. Like, I will do that.
I got something figured out.
I accept that.
What was that event that you went to last when I met you?
Oh, I went to the Arsenic event. Okay.
I feel like you just like everybody sees you walking like, oh, here she comes. Like if they know you, they're like, oh, here comes like, the ball of fire.
Yeah, I'm just like, how you doing, you piece of shit. I just like, I don't know. It was. I stayed for like 20 minutes and then I left. I don't do events. I don't do social things. I'm good like one-on-one, but I get panicky. Yeah. There's too many people, and a lot of the LA events, it's just very superficial again, and I think my friend was there, thank God, that I saw. Okay. I like beeline to him.
He kept you grounded. You're like,
yeah, he was like, I don't want to be here anymore.
The world
I was
right
like,
now.
me either.
I know, but sometimes you got to just show up even for 20 minutes just to show face.
Yeah, I did that. And
that's a good thing you live in Burbank then, because that's like a very quiet community, right?
I love it. I have neighbors, Joe, Carol.
Yeah,
I told you. How are the kids? Yeah. It's so suburban. There is like not a bar. Yeah. Nothing around.
That's amazing.
It's the best. I live next to a diner. I will not say the name of it because I don't want it overpopulated. I almost did it.
You have to keep it quiet.
Yeah. But yeah, I love
Burbank's a good spot to live.
Burbank's the best.
I know this comedy stuff is so early on, but I want you to speak into existence. What do you want to see happen from all this? Like, even though this is so new to you.
I think that's kind of been where I'm at right now, is that I'm not sure. I'm kind of right now, this year, I've been very controlling and I've been very focused on acting, because I wanted to get a role that would lead me into a comedic role. I was like, if I just keep getting these auditions, something comedic will come and I'll book it. Mm-hmm. That's not how it works, especially now when I have so many outlets to work from. So I just was like, I'm going to have to just dial it back. And because I'm so neurotic, I was like, this is the plan. So I kind of just was like, okay, there is no plan right now. You know vaguely what you want to do. So just work on stand up, write, make sketches, work with other people and do everything comedic, throw it all at the wall and see what sticks.
Amazing.
So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So it's hard, especially working, I have
you
early call times and late sets. And so I'm kind of just trying to find the balance and see, what's going to stick and just do that.
Yeah. I think that process is so important to just like toss a bunch of things at the wall and not be afraid to see like, this didn't work. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this works. Let's try this a little bit more. But I think for people, the hardest part is just throwing that thing to the wall.
Yeah.
They won't even throw it because they're too nervous that they're going to fall immediately.
Yeah.
And that's what holds people back.
Yeah.
Which actually segues into a question that I wanted to ask you was, based on your energy and just the way you carry yourself, you're very confident in yourself. How do you think people can build the confidence in themselves?
Okay. It was a struggle.
Yeah.
It was a struggle.
Yeah.
I also, like I said, the beginning of this when I started modeling, I was heavier. For me, aesthetically, I mean, it's been my job for 10 years. I've been modeling. I based a lot of my self-worth because it's my job, because it's, I'm constantly surrounded by it. Aside from comedy and my personality, like I wanted to look in the mirror and feel good, especially when on the inside I was dying. So I lost weight in like the most healthy way possible, and I felt confident for once in my life. I wake up every morning to this day. It was 30 pounds heavier. It took me 3 years to lose weight because I ate right and exercised. 6 a.m. gym, 6 days a week. I just eat like salads and shit that you're supposed to eat. And then eventually one day I woke up and my roommate was like, holy shit. And I was like, what happened? She was like, I don't know. I guess it worked. It's like 3 years later. I was like, fuck.
I guess it worked.
Yeah. She was like, oh my God, that was so crazy. It was like it just melted off. And I was like, dope.
It melted off.
Tight.
Did you not, like, what was the stem of you wanting to lose the 30 pounds?
I was just like, I don't like the way that I look in my body right now. And I don't like the way, I don't like the feeling of, just like wanting to wear certain clothes and feeling self-conscious. I felt very self-conscious, and whether that's related to pop culture or anything, like, doesn't really matter. I also didn't have Instagram when I was feeling this way. If I had seen all of these other girls like being like hot and sexy, like maybe, but I don't think I would have. I think it's just, I wanted to look in the mirror and be like, I like that. I want to be able to run a mile. Yeah. I want to be able to like do active things like hike without dying.
Yeah.
Simple
it's very
shit.
important. You don't want to die.
Simple shit.
Yeah.
So, and I just worked really hard, and I think that the confidence also comes from knowing that I did that. I did the journey the hard way by myself, and I met the goal, and then no one could take that away from me.
Yeah. You did it on yourself.
You did it by yourself.
So was it like super important that you got that job with Equinox?
No, it wasn't really. I mean, I got a casting for it, and
was that before or after the 30 pounds though?
That was after.
It was after. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
After.
But I meant more of like personally. Did you feel great knowing like I had lost the 30 pounds and now even, I don't know. I feel like that personally would be a cool job because that's such a huge brand for fitness.
But I think for me, it wasn't even it didn't matter any job because I felt good. Yeah. Like I felt good. I was like, it doesn't matter if I book it or not.
You could have been Planet Fitness. You'd be like, I'm in. Let's do it.
I feel good and I look good and like I'm confident. Like if I get this or not, it's not gonna break me because like I like who I am.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the confidence. Like just be able to look at yourself and be like, I overcame this or I met this goal or whatever it is. Just set a goal and then an attainable goal, reach it, and you'll feel confident because you did it yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think, I love this, you just keep walking right into my next questions. Do you think people should they set goals so high they feel impossible to reach, or should they set goals that are easily attainable?
What a silly question. What do you think I'm going to say? I think you should, I'm so sorry.
No, go. Go ahead.
I think you should set the most unachievable goal for yourself and then try and reach that. Absolutely not.
When I ask these questions, I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Well, because
it's like
who
it's me.
Say that?
It's me volleying you to look like a superstar. I'm setting you the ball.
I know, but it's like,
and you
come on,
in and you spike it down.
Come on, give me
but there's people out here that need to hear it.
I guess
they need to hear it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just like, oh, God.
Because you know what the thing is? It comes. I don't want to say easy to. How do I say this correctly? I don't want to say. You're a competitive person, so you have always probably pushed yourself. No, not at all.
No, I'm so not competitive. I can't even play like all the people in my life are very competitive, and I just want to be the best me I can be, which they hate to hear.
They hate it.
So like, if I'm really good at Scrabble, but
I hate that game.
I know nobody likes it because I love it. My mom that's what we would play as children. That's like, fuck Pixar. We're playing word games, and I will grab the dictionary and challenge you, 6-year-old girl. So, but I'm like, yeah, let's play Scrabble. It's fun. And then they get so angry because they're very competitive. I'm like, you can win. It's fine. And they're like, fuck you. I don't have the competitive bone, really. Yeah. I'm not just myself.
Yeah.
I forgot the question. Oh, so I think people should reach for the stars, whatever you want to do, but be realistic about the steps that you need to take to get there, if that makes sense.
It makes complete sense.
Like, I want to be an actor. I can't be like, I'm going to be an actor tomorrow. I'm going to get my first audition and I'll book it and then I'll be a star.
Well, it goes back to what you said earlier is that early on you didn't.
Yeah.
You knew like, I'm not going to just wake up and be the superstar. Yeah. I need to do these little steps that are going to get me there.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that, I truly don't know how that happened, that I would be so young and understand that because it seems like a lot of people, they don't get it. Yes. And I can't imagine being that way. And I feel bad. Like, I feel it's not, I don't feel like it's my place to tell someone that that's not an attainable goal. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I feel like they should know. Someone should tell them.
You would think.
Not me.
Maybe that you just did on the podcast. And now they're watching at home and going, what am I doing?
Be realistic.
Just be realistic.
Yeah.
Who inspires you the most today?
Like today or just in life?
I mean, it doesn't mean like
right now.
When you woke up this morning, like, all right, who inspires me?
Just sorry. This is my first
podcast. You're doing great.
I'm trying to answer
You're
all
doing
the
great. This
right.
conversation has been great. It's fluid. We're moving. We're making great content. Love it.
Who inspires me today? My mom still. Mm-hmm. I mean, she inspires me. I just like comedy people in my life that are supportive of me. I mean, I don't know. Just
how about like people that you like either follow on Instagram, and even when you just see them, like it inspires you to, whether it's comedy, whether it's life.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Chelsea Peretti, I love her. I watched her stand-up special. She's a comedian, but I mean, so many comedians. Every time I watch a special, I'm inspired, and just to be like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, Seth Rogen just like,
amazing.
wrote shit and was like, I'm gonna make this happen, and now he's, it's, I don't know. And my mom inspires me because she tells me that it's cool to do
whatever you want.
Keep doing that. It's working. You're working, and I don't know. Yeah.
It's good to have all these different
people like me. You inspire me. Like, it's just,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's so cool to be able to see someone that I feel like is willing to put in the work, and I know that I didn't just come here and it looked like this. There's so much more. Yeah. You didn't always have the neon sign,
No.
But like, you have a fucking neon sign. You fucking made it.
Yeah.
I mean, hello. Yeah. I don't have a fucking neon sign. Now I know what I'm working for. I didn't know until I came here.
I got a little cactus.
He's got tiny succulents. Yeah. Are they real?
They are real.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
You're full shit.
I swear to God.
He has real succulents and a neon sign.
It's a real deal operation.
Oh my God.
The neon sign meant a lot to me because I remember early on when I started the podcast in Boston, like I visioned having a neon sign in the background, and I was like, that'd be so dope. But
be so tight.
Why I was so early on. I'm so happy I didn't just like take all the money I ever had in my pocket. Like, get the neon sign. I think it's important to set like these mini goals along the way that if I hit a certain milestone, then I'll buy this, and then I'll buy this, and then I'll buy that. And
I love that.
It makes it more exciting along the way instead of, if it's funny because you can scroll back on my content and you can see the complete transition from just an audio podcast to now the neon sign. And even when we started visuals, it's changed like 4 times. I was just in Boston. You could see my dresser in the background.
Oh my God.
I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's important to not just want to get to that end result because it makes this whole like little journey.
Enjoy the process along the way.
Yeah, I already know I'm gonna be like a top. Oh, I'm like it's already sold. Like the deal already sent in, the contract's already signed. Now it's about just like enjoying the ride of getting there. So I'm good. Yeah. I'm gonna have the Netflix special, the whole shebang. Yeah. We're just gonna take our time on how we get there.
Sign, man.
Neon sign.
I got my neon sign is the Dyson.
Oh.
I'm neurotic and so obsessive compulsive. There is not a dish in my sink. I'm like, everything is straight, lined up, symmetrical. My drawers, like if you went into my drawer, like you open it and it's just t-shirts perfectly rolled. Oh, like, man. God forbid there's a t-shirt.
You have to redo it all.
I'll lose my shit. I start hyperventilating. I'm like, I have to fix it. It's all I can think about. But I got a Dyson for like $350 and I just called my mom. I was like, I fucking made it. Like I just spent $300 on a vacuum. I am not regretting any second. Like,
it's a good investment in yourself, right?
I mean, of course.
Yeah, because
lifetime warranty.
You want to, yeah.
Like, but no, I get it. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Your energy is great. I love it.
Thank you.
What do you do in your day-to-day schedule that is like a must, necessary, have to do it in order for you to go to sleep happy?
I wake up at 4:50 in the morning every single day. Yes. Except for on Sundays or Saturdays, I wake up at like 5:15. I sleep in a little bit.
Damn, you got me beat.
And then Sunday, I usually sleep till like 6 o'clock.
So why do you get up so early? Is that when you said 6 o'clock?
Wake up. I'm so routine. I wake up. I make breakfast. I feed my dogs. I take them on a walk, and then I pack my shit up and I go to the gym first thing every single day.
Every single day.
Except for Sundays because I have to rest.
Relax.
Apparently, I have to rest. But I like to start my day very routine because it keeps me sane. I like to exercise before my body wakes up and realizes what the fuck I'm doing to it. Just like, slow down. But I need the endorphins, I think. But it feels good to be like, if I don't do anything else today, if I don't work, if I have nothing else to do, at least I accomplished this. Yeah. That's good. It's little goals.
Yeah.
So,
I heard Tim Ferriss say one time, if you win the morning, you win the day.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. So it's like tackle certain things.
Yeah.
I also, in the same type of way, like I get up and the first thing I do is fitness.
Yeah.
Most of the days. And also because by the time I even sit down to have a podcast, or by the time I do anything, not only is it done, I've been up for 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Before I even really like have a conversation with a human being, I've already been up.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable. It's a great feeling.
Everything is done, and it's 9:30 in the morning. Unreal. I've been to the store, no lines.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best part.
Oh, no lines. It's fucking self-checkout, like having a conversation. Yeah, it's the best.
Beep, all by yourself. It's great.
Killing it.
I absolutely love it. What do you think Nikki Howard's purpose is?
Making people laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing... I think just being able to talk about sensitive topics and make people laugh about them and help them get through it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So just point out the absurdity and be like...
Let's laugh about it.
Let's just take a second and realize
Let's pump
we're
the brakes
humans.
A little bit and realize we're all alive and well and we can laugh about certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think everyone's very sensitive right now. Which, I don't know their story. I just know my story. And I think that, if you've been through some shit, it's okay to just grieve and, take the power back by making people laugh and just making fun of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
That's cool.
It's my purpose.
This is when I reverse the role. I allow my guests to ask me any one question. I clean the slate.
Okay.
Forget everything we talked about today. There's only 2 rules. 1, can't be about the podcast. And 2,
can't be about the sign.
Can't be about the sign. We already discussed the sign. Leave it.
Nobody wants to hear
about it. The other
question
is it can't be a question that I asked you today. So you can't reuse the question. That would not be fun. So it has to be lame.
How was NYCDA? I
actually didn't go.
Didn't go there.
How did you grow up in Boca Raton? I didn't actually grow up there.
I can't be about the podcast.
Nope.
Okay, great. How long did it take you to grow that fucking beard? I have to know. It's I'm not sure if this is HD, but it's like perfectly symmetrical. It's fantastic.
Well, shout out to my barber out here because he does a great job. Shout out to Santi. He won't see this. He won't see this, but
he doesn't watch my podcast.
Yeah, he's not watching my podcast, but he always asks about it, so that makes me feel good about myself. So he cleans it up every like 2 to 3 weeks and makes it up. Literally got a haircut yesterday, so
it looks
and now it looks like
pristine.
Perfect, like the best it'll be. But I haven't been clean shaven in 6+ years.
Wow.
And even then, when I mean that, I just had like a goatee for like 2 weeks and I hated it.
Yeah.
But if I completely shave this and then try to grow right now, it probably would take, I don't know, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had it longer, I've had it shorter, but this is like this is the point.
It's the Goldilocks of beards, yeah.
Yeah, it makes it look symmetrical because I have a big head, so the hair is like.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, it's all good. I actually.
You can barely tell how big your head is with the beard.
Exactly.
So
it's like, all right, well, his head's big,
Santi, good work.
But his beard makes up for it. So we're just gonna look at his beard.
Yeah.
And so it's probably about 6 weeks. Okay. Are you thinking about growing one?
I shaved mine this morning.
Oh, you shaved this
Turkish
morning.
People.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
It would look good, just. Let it fly.
It's gender fluid. You never know.
Interesting. Closing questions. I want you to imagine there's a picture frame on the wall. Okay.
Okay. This doesn't feel like a question, but go on.
We're gonna get to it. This picture frame is 10 years from now. You're in it. What and who else do we see in that picture? Be young, 36.
10 years from now.
10 years from now. What and who else do we see in the picture with you?
My mom. My mom. It's me and my mom.
Where's the picture taken?
On stage somewhere.
Staples Center?
No. This is a very vague question. I was not briefed for this question. So I'm going to give you a vague answer.
I got you tricked.
My mom's there. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Well, all right, we'll leave it
We're
in
both
mystery.
standing.
On stage.
Yeah, on stage.
That's
standing
all we know.
Somewhere. Yeah. We're both standing up.
I love it. I love it. Where can people follow you on social media if they don't already?
Oh, it's time for some plugs.
Plug it up.
What up? You could check me out on the IG. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I just said that.
Check me out on the IG.
Instagram at Nikki _Howard HOWARD. That's it.
Slide through the DMs.
I only do the one. People are like, I added you on Facebook. My Facebook profile picture is a picture of Bob Saget giving the finger. I'm like, how did you even find me?
Yeah, what the
why
hell?
I don't go on that?
Yeah, why are people adding you on a personal Facebook? It's one thing they like a page.
Yeah, I don't do
that's
it.
A little.
It's too much. I just do the one.
Yeah.
People are like, you have Snapchat? I'm like, it's the same fucking shit. It's like I don't.
Snapchat's gone.
I'm just trying to do one thing.
Yeah, go to my Instagram and that's it.
You don't need to see 17 videos of me in the car talking about nothing.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same. So Instagram.
Yeah. Before I ask the last question, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
This was super dope. And especially just on talking on a lot of different things I know personal.
Yeah.
I appreciate you just like literally walking into a stranger's house and just like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
If we got a neon sign here, I'm down to party. We're just going to talk about everything.
So let's talk about your dad.
Let's talk about it all. Let's talk about it all.
Tie.
Yeah,
all
tie.
Let's do it.
So thank you for coming in. This is I'm curious to kind of see where you go with this like comedy route. I think
as am I.
You got the energy. I think now it's just about executing and I personally think you should start a podcast. That's just my 2 cents. I think you should start a podcast. You said you want to throw everything against the wall.
Yeah, I want to sign.
Well, I think you should.
Okay,
you should start a podcast. Keep doing like the stand up that you're doing now. Maybe I don't know if you're doing YouTube or anything, but I think if there's anything you're like, what should I try? 100% podcasting should be where you're going to now.
Okay.
And we can talk about after why I think that. So
dope.
Thank you for crushing it.
Thank you.
Final question for you.
Okay.
What 2 to 3 pieces of advice would you give to somebody listening that hasn't found that passion, hasn't found that purpose, is trying to figure out what theirs is? What would you say they do?
I think just you can. I think people don't realize that they can make jobs from stuff that they just like to do. Like anything that you like to do, you can make a job at. Like talking, you can have a podcast. Like there's sponsors. Like you can do it.
Yeah.
Like I get fucking archery. I don't know what. Like you could do random shit and make a job out of it. Like I wear clothes and people put makeup on me, and that's I mean, it's like crazy. But you could do whatever. So just do what you like, and then just be aware of the options of what the jobs are involved in it, and just try them and see if you like them. And if you don't, then go to something else that you like, and be open to meeting people and yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Whatever you like to do, find a way to make a job out of it.
Yeah, you can figure it out. Like it's the only reason we have any of the only reason we have this wall, you know? Someone made that wall.
Yeah. And somebody made these mics and
someone made this sign.
They made the sign.
If you like neon signs, you can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've gone off the rails.
That's unbelievable. Nikki Howard.
Thank you for
coming
much.
through.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for dropping gems. We'll catch you guys next time. See ya.